Hello and welcome back to Nothing But Net, brought to you by Always Balling for the player within. I'm Mike Miller and we are now at the playoffs. Here we go, winning time. What we've all been waiting for. Took till the last game of the last night of the season for the final standings to be set and for the final teams to be confirmed as being in the playoffs. We had a thrilling overtime battle between the Denver Nuggets, who have flirted with mediocrity for a number of years, but are now, I say now, they look much better with Paul Millsap on. They consistently flirt with making the playoffs, and they were just beaten out, losing 112-106 to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who, as normal, played most of their players for a heck of a lot of minutes those nights. But it was a thrilling end to what's been a pretty good season so far. It started out with a shoe-in once again for the Warriors in the finals and the probability that the Cavs were going to get there. But now it really is anyone's guess. The Houston Rockets have emerged as the best record in the entire NBA, one of the best offenses in history, and the Cavs are, well, the fourth seed in the East. So I'm really excited about the events that are going to start on Saturday. Let's run through some of the predictions I've got. So we'll start in the Eastern Conference. The number one seed Raptors will host the Washington Wizards. I have this as a 4-2 victory for the Raptors. It's got some great players in there, some really talented guys on the Wizards in Wall and Beal who don't appear to get along. There's a lot of infighting going on there, which is going to be to their detriment. The fact that they're an 8th seed is just insane. Of course, Wall has been injured, but the team appeared to have played better without him. And they find themselves in a seed much lower than they should. The Raptors, revamped, re-energized. We did an episode a couple of shows back, talked about them a lot. Why aren't we talking about them more? They've been absolutely brilliant. I just want to see them get past game one. They're terrible in game ones at home. I just want to see them get that out of the way. Then I'll be a little more confident in them. But they really are a good team that have depth. Not needed as much in the playoffs, but still really sort of key contributors off the bench, and a guy who should be talked about as a distant, I say a distant runner-up to James Harden as the MVP, but DeMar DeRozan should be up there in the conversation. Let's move over to Boston, who the second seed taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a really interesting series. Boston, obviously, without Kyrie Irving. They're also without Daniel Tice. They're also without Gordon Hayward, who they've been out without for all bar 5 minutes of the season. But somehow, some way, Brad Stevens has got these guys to the number 2 seed. Their form, the latter part of the season, hasn't been great, understandably, with all the injuries. And this is a fantastic opportunity for their young guys to shine and their role players to shine. The expectations are not on them. The pressure's off. No one's expecting them to go far. That's just what happens when you lose your star player. Next year, though, will be a different matter. The Milwaukee Bucks have underachieved this season. The 7th seed is far too low for a team that has Giannis Antetokounmpo as its star player. Coaching change during the season can't have helped. Well, could have helped. Not sure it did. Much respect to Joe Prunty. He's done a lot of great work with the GB team in the past. I think this could be a dogfight, but I'm still going Celtics 4-2 because Brad Stevens is just that good. Third seed Philadelphia 76ers against the 6th seed Miami Heat. This could be a dogfight. This really could. As good as the 76ers are this season, I think the excitement of the 15-game win streak is a little overblown given the opponents they've faced. 4-3 Philly. I can see this going to 7. I can see Embiid and Whiteside having an incredible back and forth battle, which Embiid will win. Whiteside just needs to leave this one alone. And then you've got the soon-to-be anointed Rookie of the Year, Ben Simmons, getting his first taste of the postseason. And I really hope he can continue the form we've seen so far. A guy who averages 18, 8 and 8 is just fantastic. Definitely one to keep an eye on. The 4th seed Cavaliers are taking on the 5th seed Pacers. 4-1 to the Cavs. 4-1 to LeBron. This Cavs team, we know they're not the team they used to be. Saying that, they are still as bad defensively, if not a little bit worse. But we've seen in seasons past that that doesn't mean much to the Cavs. They can still get to the finals with a terrible defense. How far they go this year will again be down to LeBron, but it's definitely past this Pacers team. Let's switch over to the West. So, number one team in the West, the Houston Rockets, will be taking on the 8th seed Minnesota Timberwolves. I've got this as 4-1 to Houston. I just can't see how the Timberwolves can keep up with this ridiculous gunning offense that is the Rockets. There's just some unbelievable talent there. Daryl Morey's assembled a fantastic team of essentially 3-and-D guys who can sit beautifully around Harden and Chris Paul. Round one, they've got so many mismatches. I don't think the Timberwolves will keep up. Jimmy Butler versus James Harden is going to be a great matchup, and it'll be interesting to see how much 82 games starting 82 times, logging heavy minutes, is going to have on the performance capabilities of Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and Taj Gibson, who've all done that. And then Jimmy Butler, yes, he's missed time with injury and he's recovering from that. He's also logging heavy minutes. So is there going to be some wear and tear on these guys? We may have seen this sort of thing from Thibodeau before. The second seed, Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs. Last year, this would have been an incredibly high build, fantastic series to watch. With Kawhi Leonard out, things don't look bright for the Spurs. They rely too much on the mid-range game. That is predominantly because they have to go through LaMarcus Aldridge a lot. And the Golden State Warriors, right now, need to wake up. They're not where they were last year. They don't necessarily need to be yet, but now is the time. They need to start grinding those gears. Of course, they've got to get Steph Curry back from injury, but even without him, they have Klay Thompson, one of the best shooters in the league. Kevin Durant, not only one of the best shooters in the league, one of the best all-round players. Draymond Green, a guy who is just the ultimate team player, and a host of other guys around them as well. Yes, the injuries have suffered them. They've suffered from injuries this year. Yes, they've won 2 out of the last 3. Yes, they're tired. Yes, they're complacent, as I said in the last episode. But this is 4-2, and the reason it's 4-2 and not a shorter series is Greg Popovich. He should get. He's going to get 1 game. He should get 2 games out of this series. Third seed, Portland Trail Blazers versus the New Orleans Pelicans. I think this is going to be another dogfight. We've got an incredible backcourt versus an incredible individual talent. Both are small market teams, so it probably won't get a lot of coverage. But if you can, watch it, because there's going to be some really good back and forth games. Can Yusuf Nurkic stop Anthony Davis? In short, no. But it's going to be fun watching him try. The Blazers have got, like I said, the backcourt, CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, fantastic, quick, versatile scorers. They're going to be a handful for any defense, let alone a defense that gives up the second highest amount of points in the league. I have that going to 7, actually. I think this could be a 7-game series. Portland in 7. And then finally, the Oklahoma City Thunder. 4th seed Thunder versus the Utah Jazz. How have the Utah Jazz not finished in the top 4, considering their post-All-Star record and general statistics? This is going to be another really good series. I can see it being gritty. I can see it being feisty. I can see Donovan Mitchell trying to make a statement. I can see a wonderful physical matchup between Rudy Gobert and Steven Adams. The Thunder need Paul George to step up. Russell Westbrook's going to do Russell Westbrook things the whole series. But all year, the Thunder have been inconsistent, up and down. I've not even mentioned Carmelo Anthony because right now, he's not what they need him from. He's not what they need him to be. OKC should win it 4-2, but this is my least confident prediction, and I could see the Jazz taking it in 7. Those are my thoughts. Would be keen to hear yours. If you want to hear some of my predictions in more detail, make sure you check out episodes 249 and 250 of the Double Clutch podcast. where me, and my good friend Matt Wellington dissect all the matchups. You can check them out at doubleclutch.uk or on iTunes. Just search for the Double Clutch NBA podcast. I'm going to be back very soon with another episode. Shout out to Print Matters for my awesome new logo. It's epic. I love it. Thank you very, very much. Make sure you check out alwaysballin.com. And if you want to get 10% off your order, use the code NOTHINGBUTNET. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at NothingButNetBB. See you next time, and we'll see how these predictions are panning out. See you later.